Alrighty, so up next, we're gonna have a first-time submission, but not a first-time viewer. The Juicy Duelist, the person in charge of Juicy Game Nights, who is the founder of the Juicy Plan as well, runs all sorts of magical, wonderful tournaments. So definitely, hopefully, once COVID's all good, I will be attending your events again. Honestly, that's something I never did. I never really got to compete enough in yours, and I think like with the current situation of everything, like I have a feeling like your events are the only ones that I'm going to be going to at this point, because I have no idea what's going on with Geekies. You looked like it shut down or something, because like the sign was all smashed up. So we'll have to see. But either way, we've seen it against Jebailey, the founder of CEO, with Terry. So the cool thing is like this is a very okay, gotcha. This is a very, very by the numbers easy matchup in terms of like what's happening. Like you have a Shoto and you've got a sword character, or like somebody with like a disjointed hitbox. Basically, the sword's going to keep out the Shoto, and it's as simple as that. Playing neutral, he's going to find good ways to get in. Probably some parries to make it easier to get in and punish you as well, and that's mostly what it's going to come down to. You try to keep him out, you try to carry him off stage, and then you do that, and he's just going to try to find his way in and kill you off of 2 openings. That's mostly what it comes down to. I know. I'm glad that you missed the sound of my voice racing this magical game. I definitely do want to do a lot more things with commentating and all that stuff, but I'm definitely not going to be doing events anytime soon. Let's see. Yeah. Overall, real quick before we dive a little bit further. Overall, stage-wise, I don't really think there's an issue to like any stage. It's like whether, like I think Terry gets a little bit off of Battlefield in terms of like combo potential. So like triplats maybe would be the other ones I'd bear, specifically Yoshi's. Never go to Yoshi's. But outside of that, I don't really think there's a bad stage you could go to. And you know, I would say like the stage length kind of depends if you want to scramble with him or not. I don't really think like the length really has too much of an influence. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. So Pokemon Stadium, longest stage, whereas like if you go for something like Smash Ball, I think that's like the shortest one that we have. So let's see what you do. Okay, caught him out there. Oh man, you're going for big swings there. Like at this point, there's no reason to throw out an F smash. I don't know if you meant to do like an F tilt instead. So first thing that I can tell you already is like way too many buttons. You do not need to be pressing that many buttons. The one thing you're doing really good now is you're holding really good stage positioning, but the issue is you're committing to things. You really do not need to commit to anything in like basically all these situations. So let's look at this. So why double clicks? Okay. So, okay, we got him with the Dancing Blade. I have no idea what that was about. But like there, if you did like an F tilt instead, you could have just waited for him to come and then like done a down tilt or another F tilt. And that would have been fine. So like there, I can tell you like you're trying to catch like a tech over there. But like honestly, like dash up and down tilt would have done basically the exact same thing. And you would have been able to push him further into another, like a better point. Oh, you did it? Oh, that's not good. Okay, so we're making very, very different assessments then. Yeah. So far your movement's looking fine. Like you're playing good neutrals, you're playing good footsies in terms of like your positioning and all that stuff. And okay, when he did that rising arrow, you could have jumped up and like up aired him if you really wanted to. So dash. Okay, you're able to get it there. Yeah. Wasn't the safe pick, but like it worked out. Yeah, something like normally I would say go for the cross up when you're doing that, but against a character like Terry, that doesn't really matter. So that point's a little bit moot, but you know, just in general, keep in mind if you're trying to do like things to make them safer, like obviously down air on shield's not safe. Generally try to cross them up. This matchup doesn't matter. Oh man, okay. So like I honestly thought he was gonna like get off stage too, but it seems like power dunk if he does it in the right area, he's not. So just keep in mind, like if he does that on shield, it's very, very, very unsafe. It is let me get the exact data for you. Power dunk is Negative 19 on shield, so you can do basically whatever you want to punish him there. I'm not sure if that was a Wi-Fi thing, but like he could have gotten that back air out way sooner. Okay, that was really good. I was hoping that you didn't put yourself in a position that you couldn't cover the air dodge, but as long as you're in those positions, that's good. Right idea, just unfortunately not the exact spacing, or you could have like released that F smash sooner. Ah. You have to remember, like, Terry's hitboxes are a little bit weird. Like if he's doing anti-airs, his anti-airs only go above him unless like he does power dunk. And like his other attacks are just gonna go straight ahead. So 45-degree countering is not really too good. Yeah, spot dodge is a very bad habit of a lot of people in this game. So you want to be very, if you do a spot dodge, you want to make sure you're not doing it out of like habit. Yeah, that's kind of the reason why you don't do the offstage bear. It's just because like it's so much safer to just be on stage that you don't really need to. And you can just like punch them a lot easier for doing things like that. Yeah, unfortunately that rolls a little bit too slow to make that one work there. Yeah, be careful with your resources. Could have gotten that punish if you let your attack out sooner. Also be careful about jumping on stage like that too often. Like, well, technically off that power wave, he couldn't have gotten anything on you. It's still showing that, yeah, that you're doing that. Basically, he kept doing that. He kept noticing you kept jumping on stage, and he just waited for you to do it again, then he did, like, a strong attack. So just go to ledge in those instances. It was just a very easy to have it to call out right there. If there's one thing you always need to remember, jumping on stage is always going to be the #1 noob habit that gets you killed. Basically, jumping on stage without grabbing ledge is a tournament winner in, like, everything beyond melee, I would say. Why did that go? That guess it happens in melee too. It's okay. If it's not like the tournament winner melee is obviously the jump from ledge, but like yeah, just jumping on stage in general. Like that is definitely you're pretty new at Smash habit that gets exploited like a lot. Actually, it's the 4 Glory Slayer. The 4 Glory Slayer is the jump on stage. That's what it is. So you want to make sure you're not doing that. Let's see, what do we got next? Did you change your controls? It didn't look like you did. Because if you didn't change your controls, then this is going to be a very skewed critique. Also, I noticed you don't use down tilt with Lucina, and that's very weird. Ooh, I don't know why you didn't attack him for being right next to you. Yeah, generally speaking, down air, you're only going to use against rising tackle. Any other recovery, you're focusing on using forward air or back air. Don't use down air. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you had a good positioning. It's just like you're way too late on all your attacks. That's kind of the issue. Like, I don't know why you don't think you don't have the punish on him in a lot of these instances. Yeah, he called you out there. Also, notice this. Every single time you're basically there's a magnet pulling you to Jebailey right now. Every single time you're not changing your movement at all when you're recovering. Look, jump into him. You're not going to ledge. You're never going to ledge. Again, not paying attention that you need to anti-air them. I don't know why you went for the grab there. Like he was still in the air when you were doing that. Like you have a sword. If he throws out any attack, your sword is going to beat out anything that he does. So you can just literally put out a hitbox and he's not going to win. So you should definitely focus a lot more on that. And also, I'm surprised that you're using Nair and not Fair, because like Fair just covers like above you and below you. So you have like way less room for error there. Also, like you're kind of forgoing the spacing that the good spacing that you're setting up for yourself. And that's kind of an issue. Let's remember, he's got power, guys, so you can't jump. And see, look. You're always recovering by magnetizing yourself to Jebailey. Don't fall for it. His ego doesn't need more of you. It's the best way to think of it. Don't get into your player's ego. Look, so you get it. There's like a tether pulling you back to him every single time. Like, you need to stop. You need to stop. Like, that's not a controller issue. This is just a player issue that we're seeing right now. No, you see, look, you jump right into him. Stop. Just go to ledge. Ledge is perfectly fine. The second you grab ledge, he physically cannot touch you. See, like, okay, now you're just rushing him with like attacks. Like you're not even focused on playing neutral at this point. You're doing the equivalent of just like bull rushing him. Like you're just seeing red and you're going into it. You're not thinking about like, okay, how can I get him to like throw it up and then like I can hit him for doing that. That's what you need to be thinking about. You need to be thinking about what is he doing and like how am I trying to punish him. You're just like, there is an object in front of me and I'm going to hit it. That's it. You have no game plan right now. Like there, like he was very clearly jumping back, so you just had to do like a dash back F tilt and you would have been able to cover him coming on. Oh yeah, like right there, you decided to go inside him for that bear. Like at that point, he had like pure frame advantage there. So at that point, all you could do was like save pressure. So like back air drift away. That would have been fine. Again, you keep jumping on stage. Stop it. Stop it. As long as you grab ledge, you could just ledge jump and you will not take any damage. See, look at that. You avoided all the damage there. That's the thing. It's like you're not taking time to watch what he's doing. You're just rushing. You're just running every single time. No, to anybody. Like just at all. Just at all. Don't magnetize yourself to all of this. This is bad. At that point, he just wasn't watching him. But like every single time, like he was getting knocked up, he was always going down, always going down, always going down. Like we could have just drawn a line, and he was gonna follow it every single time. That was it. Yeah, it was basically like a training mode dummy. Like whenever you hit them and they magically come back to stage, it was like the same recovery every single time, and it was the most punishable recovery out of all of them too. Like you have to recognize when you're doing that, and like a lot of. I was gonna do that one. There's like a lot of mid-level players that like specifically have that issue, or beginners, sub-mid-level players. So just watch out for that. If you notice you're getting hit a lot when you're trying to recover, ask yourself, am I jumping on stage every single time? If the answer is yes, that's the reason why. Just mix up going to ledge, and from ledge you have a lot of mix-ups. Ledge is always going to be your safest option to get back and recover. It's pretty much guaranteed every single time. So it's just like, you have to recognize that you need to stop doing that. And like, Duelist, I don't know if you changed your controls for that last one, but like in that game, the controls weren't your issue. That's the weird thing though. Like game one, your spacing was really good. You were just very slow with your responses, and that was kind of it. Cause like you were kind of outspacing with the correct things. I don't know if you meant the dancing blade every single time, cause like a lot of those just were kind of unnecessary and like way too much of commitment. Like going for a dancing blade is almost like going for a smash attack. Like it's just, you really don't want to do it. The only thing that makes it safer is like if you're technically doing it on shield, but outside of that, it's a lot of frames that you're counting by doing that. And the other thing too is like you don't use down tilt at all as Lucina. That's weird. It's very, very weird. That did not. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the main things that I can say is obviously that recovery thing was a huge issue. Even in the first game, you were doing that. But yeah, you just need to make sure you're more alert on when you're throwing out your attacks. Always just keep that good spacing. Like you understand spacing and why it's important. You just need to make sure you always remember why and like why you're doing these things specifically. And you watch enough fighting games that I know you understand these concepts. It's just like being able to apply it to Smash and apply it to your character. Understand what your safe pokes are. Understand what you get off those moves. Understand what moves you're using to edgeguard. Always remember that edgeguard is going to be a commitment and it's not safety. So you're going off stage to style or to make a comeback. Those are pretty much the only two reasons why you're doing it. Outside of that, if you want to be safe and consistent, always practice staying on stage and doing ledge guarding. Just because, like, if you do that, you're going to be a lot safer, and if you can get consistent damage off of that and consistent kills off of that, it's just going to raise that, like, C and B level gameplay that you have, like, a lot higher, and, like, being able to consistently close out stocks is just so important in this game. So, you know, if you want to practice and, like, or just, like, want to improve, I would say focus on doing that. Like, edge guarding is good when you have the ledge guarding down. Just because, like, knowing how to make those comebacks is very, very important. And certain characters, like, knowing how to edge guard them, like, literally makes the matchup, like, a million times easier. Terry's, you can somewhat put into that category. It's, like, very linear recovery. But for the most part, to edge guard Terry, you can just kind of stay, like, right in front of the ledge and go back, and you can do the same thing. Yeah, going off stage is really fun. I'm not going to deny that. But, you know, like, if you're not really concerned about, like, if you specifically only want to get good at edge guarding because that's all you care about, you know, go ahead. That doesn't really matter. Because, like, I know at the end of the day, your concern isn't trying to be, like, you know, oh, the #1 best player in CFL and things like that. I know that's not your goal. But yeah, you know, if you want to have really saucy edge guards, like, definitely go off stage and practice that. But, like, if you want to get consistency in recognizing what they're doing, staying on ledge or, like, staying in this zone right here, like here to there so you can cover, like, air dodges, is going to be best for you. And when you can understand what the recovery pattern is by, like, staying here for, like, 2 rounds of them being off stage, then you can start making much better edge guard guesses by going deep off stage. That's the other thing. Being safer here means you can be more aggressive off there when you can when you have more of a guarantee of how they will act. When you get those things down, like, it'll help that game up a lot more. Do you have any other specific questions, Duelist? I think I kind of touched on the important stuff for you. Also, before, you know, Duelist asks his question or he finishes up what he wants to say, if you guys do want to support me, not only do we have the emote goals that are going on over there, so if we do get 25 subs, which is 16 more, we will be able to add a new emote, but if you do also want to support the Duck Hunt Discord and me as well, we do have the Duck Hunt Discord shop with all this fabulous merch. We even have dog hoodies that you can put on your dog. We've got gaiters. We also have masks. If you get this one over here, all the proceeds will go to the artists that help make this one. Fortunately, I've sold too many, so I've been able to play them a little bit, not too much. But if you do buy coasting, those will go to the 5 artists that helped create that one. And then we did recently just add the Pingus ones too. So if you are interested in Pingus merch, that is something we can do. There's no shirts yet because I'm waiting on something else to happen before I do it. But those are ways that you can help support. Okay, I almost accidentally closed out of OBS. Okay, you're good? All right, cool. Then I'll close this out.